Welcome everyone to another episode of Travels and Wildlife Photography. We're coming to you here from Hilton Head. It's a little cold out for us. We're being nice, we're staying inside today.
Well, we were outside this morning.
We did enough of dealing with outside. My fingertips are still a little sore from the cold. It wasn't that cold.
It was only like 40, but
Yeah.
laying in the water,
Yeah.
it felt.
And so we'll get
cold.
to all of that. But
Next time.
I just wanted to tell you guys what we're going to be talking about. So we started this past week in Caddo Lake before, it was right around Christmas, I think.
We were there
We
for
recorded
Christmas.
the last episode right before Christmas.
Yes.
And so we're going to go through Christmas into the new year, and that brought us here to Hilton Head. And so we're going to talk about all that. It's going to be a long one. We have a lot. There's a lot of outings, as you can see here.
With crazy, amazing light.
Yeah, and there's just a
Different
lot of different
conditions.
stuff to go over. So hopefully you enjoy hanging out with us for this one. So let's get started. Let's get right into it.
Yeah.
We'll go all the way back to the beginning here. So previous episode, we were at Caddo Lake, and we talked a little bit about that, but we had only stayed on the Louisiana side where we were camping,
Yes.
which was on this bigger part of the lake, just like what you're seeing here in this photo. This is what it looked like right out from behind our van where we were staying there. Mm-hmm. And
Very easy to just kayak right from there.
yeah, and what we would do every day is like wait till
If it was sunset, and then
it looked like this.
We're like, all right, better get in the kayak and go out there.
Out we go. So this was, I think, the
only outing.
We didn't get any birds.
Any birds, yeah.
I think we decided to do it late, maybe, or I don't remember why it
I
happened.
don't know.
But
It just,
yeah.
they just weren't around.
Yeah.
And I think
that was
that's
it.
something interesting to note, I guess, which we can talk about too, is like, you might think of these cypress lakes because you see the photos from there if you're
Yeah.
on social media or whatever, and it's like wading bird, there's always a wading bird in these
Yeah.
photos, and it's like, it's not always that, simple.
Totally, yeah. We did.
Yeah.
It was, well, it's odd, right? It was most of the time there were not many birds, and then it would go from not many birds to, oh, there's 5,000 birds in front of us.
Yeah.
With this
with
massive
those,
flock
that crazy flock of
feeding
cormorants
cormorants.
and pelicans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was kind of one extreme or the other,
Yeah.
But I would say for the most part, we're always kind of seeing something, but there was a couple of outings where we went out, and that was one that we just showed you there.
Yeah, or I guess what I'm trying to say is like, it's like, there could be roosting up in the trees. They're not always like in a great
Yeah.
photographic spot.
Totally, yeah. Yeah. And in this case, they just weren't there.
In that case, they just weren't there.
We didn't see any birds,
Yeah.
But I mean, the sky was incredible.
It was
so
beautiful. It was
we
great.
went out and-
It's always it's always nice to be out kayaking, even if
Totally, yeah.
even if they're not there. So that was the first day we went
over to the
to explore the other side of the lake.
And so I don't think we have any videos from that first section. So yeah, I'll just leave this here. So yeah, you want to talk about that?
Sure.
Kind of the other side of the lake.
Yeah. So actually, one day we went out and we just drove around.
We brought the snacks with us. I put that
I
in
think
there.
that was Christmas. I was saying Christmas cookies. If you haven't had those, they're really good.
I put it in there just to show. Like we were out for a little while in the
Yeah.
kayak, so we brought some snacks with us.
And it was supposed to be raining that day, so we weren't even planned on going
right.
out. And then we
saw the sky
woke
like
up
this.
and it was beautiful. So we were like, well, we might as well
Yeah.
go check out. It was kind of midday, and it said it was the morning, but it said it was going to start raining at 1 o'clock,
Yep.
and it just didn't seem like it was going to rain.
Yeah.
So we decided to go out, and then it.
Well, actually, was this the day we were planning on going out, or we were just going to look
No,
for the
I
other
think-
boats, and then we?
No, we had already done that.
did
We had
take the
already
boat, you're right.
we had
Yep.
already
Scouted.
scouted some
Yeah.
different areas, so we knew we wanted to put the kayak in here.
Yeah, and so I
And-
think I do have some videos from us paddling through. Bear with me here while we do that. So go ahead, you can tell everybody.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
that while I
so we decided to go over there, and that side had the Spanish moss, which was not where we were camping, and so it really gives a different kind of look to it.
Yeah, so here's some videos we shot. This was the first paddle in on that side.
Yeah.
In that area. So Emily was shooting some of these, and you can just see like this habitat is just
It's
so damn
so
stunning.
pretty,
It
yeah.
really is. It's just beautiful to be in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really nice to paddle around.
So this was like this first pass that we went in there, and then you were just seeing some of the photos of this.
Yeah.
So here's what like this looked like out in the water there. But as we're paddling in there, no birds yet.
Yeah.
And up until that point, right? So yeah, I think that was it for that there.
And then we finally Well, there we
Yeah.
are having fun.
Yep, having fun out there. Oh, that's right.
We saw some, were those
Red-shouldered hawks.
red-shouldered
That was the first thing we saw.
Yeah.
No good photos though. So it's a great example of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So, like, cool
I
birds.
mean, like cool birds, interesting habitat, but like they're just kind of in
What
the
are we
wrong
gonna-
place, and it just doesn't look great.
Yeah. What are you gonna do with it?
This is an interesting one, right? Because
Yeah.
you shot this one. We both were shooting.
Yeah, I'll bring the settings up here.
And
Oh,
you
and
were
I'll
on
switch them
the,
so we can see the camera. That's
you were on
good.
the 28-4. What was I? Was I shooting the 1-4? I think I was.
I think you were.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was shooting the
So-
28-400, and it's funny. This lens is still kind of new to us, and so I remember thinking when we got back and I looked at the photos, I
Yeah.
was looking through this set because this sucker was kind of tiny in frame.
He was
there.
really far away.
We were shooting through a lot of low vegetation,
Yeah.
and
You were
in the boat,
you were like, oh, none of my photos are sharp,
It
and like
missed
mine weren't
a lot.
either.
Well, that's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
so
was shooting 1-4, so I
thought
think
at
it was
first
just
It was just the lens, but I think it was more the situation.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
And so that's my shot.
Yep.
And we were talking about how differently I edited it.
Yes, it's always fun to say that. Edit. It sounds like a big old stutter.
As opposed to
Yeah, there's
how you
there's
did.
there's the same moment. Shot.
So I think that's an interesting kind
Yeah.
of thing. You went dark
Let
with
us
it.
know what you like in the comments.
Yeah, which one do you like better? I would be curious to know actually.
Yeah, we're totally fine with either
Oh,
one.
yeah.
We always like what we do there.
Yeah.
You went with an edit that shows off more of the habitat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I went off showing more of the bird, and I wanted the habitat. Like my goal with this one, which I do like your pano crop better.
Thank you.
By the way, like this one feels like kind of squarish now.
Yeah.
After looking at that nice widescreen
Yeah.
feel to that one, you know. And so I kind of wonder if I have space for that on mine.
Yeah,
A little
totally.
bit here. No, that's straight out of camera. So like I guess I could just lose top
You could
and
just
bottom.
lose some of it, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, the bottom is fine. I'm fine with losing because it's kind of a mess down
Yeah,
there.
I kind of like to see, like, I
don't
liked
know
the
that I like-
vegetation and I liked the, seeing the Spanish moss and stuff. So that's why I decided
Yeah.
to edit it
Lighter.
lighter.
Yeah, so and I was going to say, my goal with this was I wanted it to be back there, but your eye to have to kind of like dig
Search
in
for it.
to see it a little bit
Yeah.
more. Yeah, exactly. So, but now I do like the pano fits just much better.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I didn't think to do that on this one. For whatever
is
reason,
funny.
it didn't kind of jump
I've
out
been
at me.
really doing more pano stuff lately for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway.
What did you, let's see, I was 500th of a second at my lovely f8. You were 500th of a second. So we were
Yeah.
at the same. Both shooting aperture priority, auto ISO is my guess, you know?
Yeah.
-1 2/3 for you. I was down -2. But
Yeah.
that's a negligible difference in the original.
Yeah.
Mine probably looks damn near like yours, you know?
Probably.
You went with a warmer white balance too overall.
Yeah,
You went with
so
a cooler
I
look with it.
tended to do that
Yeah.
with these photos in general. These from
Cypress?
Caddo Lake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Did you?
I kind of liked how it looked better.
Yeah, that's interesting because I did find myself
Yeah.
a lot of times going with like a cooler tone out of it.
So yeah, we
For
went
whatever
just like
reason, it was just like I don't
edited
know.
totally different.
Yeah, it just felt
Yeah.
like it fit the mood for me. So
Yeah.
here's a couple more I shot out to 280 millimeter on that one. So that was like the nice thing, right? 370 on that.
Yeah.
So almost maxed out, and then out to 280 to get it really small.
Yeah.
I mean,
I like that a lot. I
the-
love that.
The
yeah.
textures is probably one of my favorite. You know, and then
Yeah.
this tree kind of is like a little bit bold there. But I feel like especially this size, if I were to go, in fact, I think there, like he gets lost with it that light. That's straight out of camera. So there's just no edit.
Okay.
And so I feel like it almost had to do that with that size
Yeah.
and frame.
Yeah.
But
I
he's
think
not,
he stands out more.
the other ones were closer, wings up.
Yeah, the
more-
wings up.
more
Yeah.
obvious
Yeah, but
pose.
still, I mean, it's just a different look to it. You know.
For
and
sure,
that's-
but like that one,
it's like a little bit, almost looks like black and white, half of it. I don't know. It almost looks like, you know how people used to do that? I don't know.
the color tinting?
Yeah.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah, it kind of looks like that
It
for some
does,
reason.
you're right. Like just added
just
color there.
the color in the bottom.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting.
But this texture with that much Spanish moss up there, and like the thing is, you can still see it there. It's
Yeah.
just, you know, moodier.
Yeah.
And like that was an important part for me to kind of add it in or leave it that way. So anyway, I wanted to show, oh, there's my actual final edit.
Oh, okay. So you
I
have
popped
3
them even
versions.
more.
Okay.
Yeah. I forget that I do that. This was
One was
that's
in
the
Photoshop.
final edit. Yeah. So, you know, there's Lightroom Photoshop. So that's the
Okay,
Lightroom version
slight
in Photoshop.
different.
So I
They're
just
kind of popping him out more.
And a little bit more of that too, like just a little bit more
showing
texture
a
and
little bit of
visibility
it.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we saw some this crow.
Yep.
Yeah.
What do you think of this?
I think it's interesting.
Yeah. It was an interesting edit. Like it was.
I think I definitely like the edit.
Yeah, and I didn't desaturate it. I just decontrasted it enough, but it almost.
Oh, really?
Oh, I black and whited the whole thing.
Yeah, you.
Oh my gosh.
Ray's straight up lying to you. I
I
didn't
forgot.
desaturate it. I just magically took all the color out.
Well, I thought I took so much contrast out that the color got really low, and then forgot I switched it to black and white, which. I mean, it works well, color too.
It is kind of cool. It's like
It's almost better in black and white.
It looks
though.
kind of like I don't know, something you'd see
So funny.
in a store. What?
That I just was completely
Forgot.
wrong with what I did.
Yeah.
Saw these vultures. They were on this big giant dead fish there. I think like a, I forget. Anyway, I really like. It was so funny. This was one of those scenarios where, to your eye,
It looked
stood out
good.
like crazy.
Yeah, and then if you look at it there.
But I knew, even when I was shooting it, I'm like, it's
Yeah.
gonna get lost in here because you don't know where to look in a still photo without
Yeah.
the movement. You know.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can see them, and I shot a few different ones. Carp. That's the word I was looking for. I think it's a
Okay.
big carp.
That one's cool because you have
one
the,
kinda works.
the position.
Yeah.
And then you can really see that habitat, like as opposed to
For sure.
where we were on the other side. You can just see how much more Spanish moss there is and everything.
Yes,
So it's,
yeah, it does really show nicely there.
Yeah.
So I was just
And
playing with
then
that.
the clouds are really nice. Like it was a nice, it was warm, like in
was
and out of
beautiful being
sun.
out
It was
there.
like beautiful, yeah.
Yeah, because at first we had that egret, and that was a while before we found those vultures.
Yeah.
And we were just
And we're
floating
just
around,
paddling
enjoying
and
it,
just taking in
eating our
the
crackers,
day,
our cookies.
eating our Nutella biscuits. They're so
Yeah.
good, by the way.
They are so good. Yeah.
Um,
And this was right at the end, on our way back.
Right. So then we were almost
started
back.
clouding.
It started getting darker clouds. And Ray was like, we could go this one way back that's a bit longer or, go the way that we came. And I looked up at the sky and I was like, those clouds are a little menacing. I don't
Made the
know
right call.
that we should keep going,
Yeah.
And so we decided to go back.
Yeah.
And when we did, we saw a couple of egrets, right? And a great
Couple of-
blue heron.
Was there a couple egrets?
I think,
Maybe.
yeah.
Couple
At
of
least
birds.
one.
Yep. So, we
This
had
guy
great
is
blue
so
heron. He
funny.
was just
I don't think I
peeking
had
out.
any of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fun. And then you shot this
But
one.
yeah, see, like I went warmer with
You did.
the background. I
Yeah.
just thought it looked pretty.
It does look nice. I dig
Yeah.
it. I really like the edit. He pops out really nice.
Yeah,
Definitely
and
like
then
the other one.
I wasn't sure, so you like
I like
this
this
guy
one.
better.
Oh,
Yeah,
for
I mean
sure.
the composition lays out really
It
nice.
still shows off the trees wonderfully. I know
Yeah.
you were showing off the
And
trees here.
the one thing too is this, if you go back, there's like this kind of intersecting him. So
What is
that's what
that?
I don't really know. I think it might
Yeah.
be like another tree or something.
Gotcha.
And so
Yeah.
that one's a little distracting and that one doesn't have that.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
I did that because I
Yeah.
was behind you in the kayak, so
Right.
that's the view I had.
Yeah.
Also, I was trying to do that. I wanted to
Yeah.
time it just so you could see like his beak sticking out.
Yeah. It's cute.
Because I noticed it as I was like, when we're creeping up, and guys, we're like going, at this point we were pretty damn close to this bird, and most of the birds we've encountered
yeah,
have
we're
been all
so skittish.
super skittish. So
Yeah.
all of a sudden these three, there was like 2 or 3, maybe 4 birds in there, were pretty friendly.
Yeah, we
And
were close.
We got really close.
I
but
mean, but then it was like a mess back there shooting in there.
it was challenging with the
Yeah.
habitat
Yeah.
there, but once we got that close, it was like, let's paddle real slow. I was trying not to paddle
Oh, yeah,
at all.
yeah.
I was just like, when we would hide behind a tree, little paddle, and then just try and wait to float. So you're just kind of like inching forward
Yeah.
slowly, and then the bird just slowly reveals, or they would walk out kind of thing. And it was just really fun trying to play with the layers in that. And as we're creeping out, I noticed the bill, and I'm like, that's kind of a fun shot.
Yeah, it is.
So
and then you
I
did also.
got his head, yeah.
Yeah.
I like this one a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Just showing off the Spanish moss there. So I could have done all of these, most of these, it looks like, with the 100 to 400, because they're all
Within
they're-
that range.
Yeah, it's basically
Ish.
100 millimeter.
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting. But I know I did later shoot a little bit wider. But the verticals work really well here. You didn't pull anything there that you liked?
I guess not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're right. I think you definitely need to do the darker edit here.
Yeah.
Because I think if we look at the original on these, I mean, it was pretty dark. I didn't do that much, actually.
No.
It's actually not much of a change, just popped them up a little bit. So.
Yeah.
But I shot it dark.
Yeah, I
sure.
think I was shooting dark too.
Yeah. Oh, I love this shot.
Yeah.
This is Emily's.
That
so
is.
good. The warm look is nice.
Yeah.
It is nice. I like both.
Yeah.
I like both looks. There's just a different feeling from each one, but
Yeah.
gosh. There's so much I like about this that when you first showed me, I think one of the first things I said was how
He
the
fits
wing
like in
is
between the two trees.
right in that
I know.
column
I
right
think
there.
that's why it works so well too. Like one of the
Yeah,
reasons.
I mean, I think it would work if he was anywhere in there because it is such a light bird. You know,
Yeah, and then the wing position is nice.
the wing position is just right there.
Yeah, you can
There's
see, like,
great
the
light
hints
on the
of-
head and neck. Because
Yeah.
like sometimes they turn a certain way or whatever, and it like gets shaded
Yeah,
there, or the
shadowed.
wing is up and shadowing their head a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, and I had multiple.
Just all the vertical columns of those tree trunks.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole thing. Again, the pano crop working so well there.
Yeah.
Let's just give everybody a show of this one on its own without us. There we go. We'll full screen it just so you guys can enjoy
Fully
that one.
appreciate my
Yeah.
mastery of photography.
Yeah.
It's not how I feel though, really.
I
It's
don't
just
think,
funny.
I still don't think we have, I don't know if I have any other videos showing this stuff yet. I think everything else is on the sunny day we went back to this area. But yeah, I think it's just beautiful. There was
Thank
something
you,
else I wanted
thank
to say
you.
about it, but I've forgotten what it was, so we'll just continue to move on.
Just continue
Yeah.
on.
There's one, I like this one a lot too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the little clusters of
Yeah, I
stuff,
really like
kind
that.
of.
Yeah, and then he's
Almost
just
looks
like
like it's
small
raining
in
down on
there.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really a nice one.
Oh, I remember what I was going to say. I know we talked about this on the previous episode.
Oh,
There's a
there's
straight
the,
out of camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
So
wanted
the
to show
dark,
that.
I think, works.
Yeah, because it gets lost in there, you know?
Yeah.
Plus, I just like the moodier look.
Yeah.
That's just always the edit I go for, almost all the time.
Always darker.
Yeah.
Because I think you could, I mean, like to the eye, I feel like that's more obviously kind of true to
Oh, for sure.
what you're seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So I went with much more of an artistic edit on these.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But I mean, so did I with warming the trees up.
Well,
that
I
changes
don't
it a
know.
little.
Yeah, a little bit, but they're, I feel like they have that sort of tonality to it.
Yeah.
So here's where I start playing a little bit wider, 84 millimeter. There's one you did.
Yeah.
So yeah, that does show it off.
Yeah.
I feel like this is actually lighter than what it looks like in real life.
Really?
Yeah. Like to my eye, I feel like you don't get to see, it's like a darker scene. Those trees are darker in there.
Well, yeah, it's like.
and I don't mean it in a negative way. I just mean like I feel like you went that direction, I went the darker direction.
is
It's probably
interesting.
somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Like in real life. When I
Yeah.
remember,
I mean, we showed the videos of like phone videos. Of
I
what
feel
it's
like this sort of like indicates, like if I were to just neutralize, like that's kind of what it looks like to your eye.
Right.
When you're in there.
Right.
You know, that's kind of how I feel with it.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Oops.
Got lost in the sauce.
I did, well, there's the edit on them.
Oh,
but
okay.
Yeah, so
I mean, I
another
don't
one
think
just showing off the textures, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're beautiful. They really are.
And some of the colors, like some of those leaves, like more autumnal colors.
Yeah. Good word.
Thank you.
Autumnal. We haven't used it in a while. So I remember what I was going to say, and I don't know if I got back to it, just talking about how required it is for these white birds for these shots.
Oh, well, yes.
You know, like
Because
this is
if
a
it was a great
example.
blue heron, it would just blend in.
It'd be really, really tough to
Yeah.
get them to stand out there. So, you know.
Yeah.
And I kind of wonder on something like this how much I did on the edit. Like there, that was straight out of camera, guys. And so that's all I did.
Yeah.
So it's a real minor edit
Yeah.
on that, you know. So it's nice to see that sometimes the scene did lend itself to that exposure difference already. And it's not like I had to push it. Like, because that earlier one, that really small in frame
Yeah.
one, I really transformed that one, you know. And then same thing with this. I know I lightened the bottom and the bird more, but that was because I was trying to expose the sky.
Right.
And so if I exposed for the bottom, the sky was going to just kind of, you know, lose all detail and be all bright up there.
Yeah.
So I exposed for that and then did the, just lightened up the bird otherwise, you know. But here I did max it out on the width, 28 millimeter.
So this is back at the campground.
Different day.
I don't know, was that? We had Christmas,
'Cause it
we had
started
2
raining.
days, 2 outings.
Oh, okay. Well, it
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
remember? Okay. All right.
Let's see. Oh, it is Christmas, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had
But
the
that was
crazy.
Christmas Eve.
Okay, so it's a different day.
Yeah.
I thought Christmas was when we were eating those Nutella biscuits. I guess it doesn't matter. Christmas Eve biscuits. Anyway, Christmas we had 2 things. We had this, and then we had a crazy sunset too.
Correct. That's what it was. Yep.
It was our Christmas gifts.
So,
From nature.
Massive flock out here. We'll show you guys some drone video of this stuff, and these are the photos from the drone I took. This was the second or third time we saw the flock.
Yeah.
And just for reference, like our van is basically right up there.
Yeah.
Is where we're parked. And so we would look out sometimes and just see the chaos, and sometimes you could hear it. As soon as you went outside, you could hear it.
Yeah.
It was just crazy with how many birds. And this is just a small portion of them. Like, we're not even seeing all of them here. So I think let's go over to here. Here we go. So I got some of these videos to show you guys a little bit more what it looks like. This was just a small portion of them, mostly double-crested cormorants and
then some
white
of the white pelicans
mixed in there. But you can really see how I'm guessing they're all just feeding and fishing.
Yeah.
I never saw them actually, any of them catch anything.
No.
But I don't know if it's tiny fish that they're going for in there, but they're so actively
just like
moving
around, jumping under. And
the cormorants diving like crazy, the pelicans, sometimes you would see them kind of scooping in, you know.
Yeah.
But it's really
But
neat.
it was definitely always like moving. They were always going somewhere.
Nobody was resting.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just constant sort of movement and chaos is what it looked like. From the shoreline, it felt that way.
Yeah.
And it felt,
Here it doesn't feel so
I was going to say,
chaotic.
in the air, that it totally took on kind of a different feel, I think. Like, you could kind of see the pattern of what was happening there. And,
right.
Yeah, it was really neat. So I won't stay on one video too long. Here we go. Yeah, so this one's really high, so you can get a better sense of
how many birds there are. Just so many dots.
Just insane amount of birds. Let me take us off the screen here so you guys can see it better. And yeah, I love the patterns of the birds
when they're taking off. Yeah,
the cormorants.
It is really fun.
Watching that kind of, those lines of feet running out is pretty awesome there. So
yeah, just so many birds. Like, look at that.
I mean, there's got to be like 50 pelicans there.
Yeah, there's a lot.
A small number compared to the cormorants.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So I would estimate at least 1,000 to 2,000 cormorants somewhere in there, like maybe 1,500 ballpark. And the flock would just stretch out. Like, it would really start spreading. It was never really like fully
compact.
one spot.
Yeah.
Exactly. So.
And I think, was this the time that we decided to go out and try and photograph them?
I don't know if it is. It must have been. Because the sun's looking low enough there that we could have gotten out and gotten
I guess
some
we'll see in the photos.
Yeah, we'll see in the photos and the video too.
Yeah.
This one's cool. I think I end up like spinning my way down pretty dang close to these guys. Look, I sound like I'm talking from over there. Pretty dang close. There, now you can really start to see the cormorants that were harder to see higher up, and you can just see how many there were, you know.
Yeah.
How fun. It's so fun playing with the drone like this stuff. And, you know, I'm always paying attention. Like, you can see, look.
To the behavior.
Yeah, they're all still totally fine. Like, I stopped at this point just on my own, just to make sure, because I felt like if I went any lower,
then you freak them all out.
I was going to start freaking them out.
Yeah, I mean, they're just doing the normal.
There was one time I did see when I was flying lower. This one I wanted to show just because you could really see the fun pattern of birds, and like I think at some point the pelicans start flying around and swooping in. Let me just fast forward it here and see if this is the one. I mean, look at that. There we go.
Oh yeah, I love those
really cool
patterns. Yeah.
With these guys flying in, because they're just so stand out.
Wing, wing.
Yeah. And
then
there's
the
another
shadow
set.
of the.
Look, yeah, you can see the shadows of them when they're flying higher and off camera.
Yeah.
There. Yeah, I think they actually just kind of swing back around here and maybe land in there at some point. Yeah, there we go. Just spiraling in and landing.
Yeah, that's cool.
Those big old shadows coming from them. And yeah, what a fun scene. So it looks like we did probably go out there next, though, because I think it's that there.
Right.
Yeah, so they're straight out of camera edit. I think these were raw files as well. Oh, and I left this in just to show.
To show where the van is.
This is our campsite.
And then you see all the
right
dots
there. Yep.
of
There you
birds.
go.
Wow.
That whole flock out there.
Crazy.
Yeah, and it kept stretching like out this way.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It just kept going out of camera. So, but yeah, this is where we stayed for 10 days. Just
Yeah.
right on the lake, just launch right there, out in the water we
Super
go.
easy,
Oh, it
super
was
nice.
The best. Yep. So here you go. Here's a shot you did.
Yeah.
So then I think we did, right? I finished
We
flying
must
the
have
drone.
gone, yeah, we must have been like, let's try. Because, I mean, the sky was interesting. Like, look at those
Really
clouds.
dramatic.
Really cool.
Yep.
And we were like, might as well, I mean, see if we can get close.
Yeah.
And we never got, like, crazy close or anything.
No.
But,
Yeah, I did
wow,
this
that
one.
shows the chaos
Yeah,
for sure.
exactly.
Of them just, like,
Yeah.
flying by.
And so this was the problem. We realized rather quickly. We went out in the boat just to see. We wanted to experience it. We didn't know how it was going to be.
Yeah.
And yeah, we quickly realized as soon as we got out in the open at all and they could see us, they all just took
Yeah.
off. Like it was just, the whole flock just started moving. And so, felt bad about that, but we didn't chase anymore. We just sat there.
Yeah.
And in fact, I can show you guys here. We just basically, from here, we paddled out to about here. And when we got in these trees and they started seeing us,
Yeah.
they all started launching, and then we just stayed right here.
Right
We
around
didn't move
there.
anywhere.
Yeah.
And they didn't like leave the lake or anything
No,
like that.
no,
just,
they
like,
just moved
flew
to a
further
different
away
area.
and started landing
Yeah.
and feeding again and stuff. So we just kind of stayed put.
I liked this one.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, I really liked the tree and those two up there.
These two interacting there, yeah.
Yeah, and random, what is that, like a gull in
Yeah,
there
it looks
or
like
something?
some kind of gull.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got this one too. I like this one better,
Okay.
compositionally.
Yeah, and some of the guys floating by.
Yep.
I definitely I think I went cooler with the background dehaze,
A little
that
bit
sort
more.
of thing.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In comparison.
I know. It
Definitely.
makes me feel like I need to punch this up a little bit more now. It feels like a little bit dull and flat,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so funny. Like I don't even notice that kind of stuff. Like I'd probably go, maybe like there now, maybe there.
Make it closer to mine.
Yeah, not quite though. Like
yeah,
yours
I
is
know.
definitely
I did
a
punch
brighter,
it.
a little bit more blue. But you went with a brighter exposure, but that fits because you didn't have the white birds in there.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I think that was what I was concentrating on, was looking
Right.
for the pelicans because I knew they would stand out
Yeah.
in darker exposure.
Sure.
And all of that. So, but yeah, some really fun stuff out there shooting. Yeah, just trying to show off those pelicans.
Yeah, and the sky too. Was very cool,
Stormy.
dramatic, stormy sky.
This one's cool. I like this.
Thanks.
Nice. Yeah, the the cormorant silhouettes kind of
The
show
tree.
up nicely there in that tree.
Yeah, they do. And then also the difference between the pelicans and the cormorants there in the water.
Size difference.
Yeah.
Like pelicans are big birds to begin with.
Yeah.
Or cormorants.
Oh, they are. Yeah, yeah.
They're pretty good size.
But
And
compared to those giant
just
white
dwarfed
pelicans.
by pelicans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. We both did
Some vertical.
Some vertical. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh wait, no,
No,
still
that's
me.
still you. Well, that's not vertical.
So this
but
was when we went out at sunset.
was-
Is it?
I think it's the same time.
We stayed out?
I think it was just around that time. It must have been.
It started getting that color, huh?
I don't know.
It must have been. Yeah, because that's when
Yeah.
all these cormorants
That's-
were in there.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't even remember that. Yeah, so we started getting some color in the sky. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, there's Emily. So you were on 1 to 400.
1 to
okay.
4.
And
Yeah, I
was
like
shooting
that
at
one.
28 to 4. Yeah, this one's nice.
with some of those smaller cormorants and you could see the oil rig.
I was just gonna say that.
So we were in Oil City, and the world's first in over water.
Yeah, oil thing.
Oil
and
rig.
I think somebody mentioned it online and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And you can tell there's probably a sense of pride. There's signs all around.
Yeah.
And there's a sense of pride about it. But from us as just being outsiders, my first thought is oh, cool. You dug into the water and are bringing out this oil into it. And now the lake is dotted with these oil rigs. That
Yeah. It's kinda
not
weird.
The best looking.
Yeah.
And so from a wildlife nature standpoint,
Yeah.
it sounds horrible to me. I'm
Yeah.
oh great, oil drilling there,
Yeah.
It seems like not a good thing. But the whole area and the place seems rather proud of it, which I think when
Oil
you're
City.
when you're
When
in
you're in Oil
Texas and
City.
stuff like that, in Louisiana, that at least that side of Louisiana, I guess there is a sense of pride with that. So every town has it in its own way, right?
Okay, yeah, that was my vertical.
There's your vertical version,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. Nice. Yeah, so I guess it just transitioned into this beautiful sky. I didn't remember staying out. I thought we like went back out
I don't know
again.
that we, that was
cool.
just a fun one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really fun. So what is going
Then-
on? So
Yeah, that's all Christmas.
all the same day.
All the same day. Yeah.
Maybe we caught this on the way back in?
Yeah, probably.
I
I think so.
Hard to remember. Oh, and
But I think that night was a crazy
I
sky.
think, yeah, here's some video just showing like some of the birds just swimming around out there, so you can kind of get a sense of what that looks like with those trees and my shaky footage there. Let's see if there's anything else worth showing. Yeah, it's just the cormorants or pelicans floating around there.
Yeah.
So there's that one. Okay, we'll come
that
back.
was
That's a
this-
different day.
No, I think that's the day we already showed, wasn't it?
The rainbow?
Not the rainbow, the sunset.
Which one? This one?
That one. Yeah.
Oh, that was when we paddled out and couldn't find any birds that
Yeah.
day. You're right. Yep. Okay. So yeah, I guess we shot some of these when we were on our way back in. These guys, the great egrets again, up in the trees. So just messing with those guys, and then
I think
that's
the night.
That's the 24th.
The 25th.
Oh, 25th. I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh, so that's what it looked like when we were paddling back in. Okay. I don't know why I thought we shot a great blue out that night, but like that.
Was that the same day? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
okay.
that was then the rays came.
We went back out again?
I think
Doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. We're sitting here deliberating our own schedule. But we did find this great blue heron that was amazing. And yes, you're right. The rays of light started shooting out. Because I remember there being like an epic
It was
sunset
a crazy sunset.
that
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Very
here's me.
dramatic.
Yeah, I don't know. I got some weird lens flare on that.
That is weird, yeah.
That lens. I was shooting the 100 to 400 at this point.
Oh, okay. I think
so-
I think I had the 28-4 and then the 135.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I was just playing around with this. We were specifically trying to line them up in that bright spot of cloud there. I remember doing that, which was really fun. Oh my gosh.
yeah. So that's the
Damn.
28-4.
Yeah, nice. Shot at 155. Nice. Oh,
Yeah.
man, that sky that night.
Yeah.
Incredible.
It was stunning. It was stunning.
So I got a question for you. What made you leave that tree in? On
The second
left?
tree?
Yeah. Like, was that, I assume that was a conscious decision to leave that in the composition.
Yeah.
You know?
Just maybe balancing
Yeah.
kind of
No, I
between
dig
the two like the light rays,
Yep.
then you have the two trees kind
Yeah.
of, and
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
smaller. Because I played around with both a lot myself.
Yeah.
You know? Was doing,
sure, yeah. I mean, we were both on Zooms. We could have zoomed it in and
you know
out.
what I mean? Oh, gosh, the takeoff.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh, yeah, that's right. This was short-lived. He didn't stay
He
that
didn't
long.
stay, but then he went to another tree.
Oh, was
and
this that night?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
okay.
we just like were able to creep in closer.
Oh,
I think.
okay. I thought
Yeah.
that was a different one.
Well,
Yeah.
we'll see if we
I guess
keep
we will
having
see.
photos of him.
Yep.
I think we did. Yeah, remember? And then we tried to get him in this beam
Yeah,
of
look
light.
at that. That's right. He did go out to that further. Yeah, because I
Yeah.
got to say, this tree isn't the best.
Yeah, but there's
It's
something.
a little busier at the top.
There's something nice about like he's at the
shape
top
of
there
it?
in the gray, and then you got the blue, and yeah.
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 But this tree, to me, right here, he just shows so much better for whatever reason. I feel like it has less leafy stuff on it.
Oh.
You know? Like, look, it's like bare sticks there. Like, see the top of this one?
Yeah.
And then look at, if we go back to, because I think yours are just lower resolution, so let me find one of mine
okay.
here. Yeah, like, see, this has all those
Oh, I
leafy
think I
things
did. I
hanging
did
on it?
send a small version of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
All of these leafy hanging things,
Mm-hmm.
I think they just make more visual stuff up there versus this tree just being like the sticks. And he just stands out more to me for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But yes, the light ray started shooting through.
Oh yeah, it was crazy.
We were paddling in to line it up.
with a beam of
beam.
light. Yeah.
It's so fun. And then this does show here, but it showed so much more interestingly to your eye that day. Like you could really see all the texture of rays shooting down in there.
Yeah.
Really, really cool. Yeah. This one was, I thought that one was yours.
No.
Yeah. Oh, this must be the straight out of camera version.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then there's my final edit.
Okay.
Yep. So that's what it looked like. Yeah. So I definitely enhanced that ray of light, for sure.
Well, I think you almost had to with the cameras because like you weren't seeing it as much.
And by the time we lined up,
yeah,
it had faded. Like it was stronger, and then we saw it, paddled in because we had to paddle like one way or the other to line it up. And by the time we got there, it was kind of fading. So I just like gave it a little oomph in post. Yeah, and then we just started playing around with this tree, shooting a bunch of different ways. This is cool.
Yeah, well, there was that huge distinction between the blue and the gray cloud, and it was like the craziest thing I'd ever seen.
So crazy.
And and then I wanted to show more of the water.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
We were out there saying like this is one of the coolest.
It was one of the coolest ones, and then we saw this other one. Oh my god! But this one is still like stunning.
It is.
Like look at the layers of those clouds.
Incredible
I don't know. It was just crazy.
So you're shooting this on the 135.
The 135. I switched.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. I think there's a nice look to that 135.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was on 1-4, so playing with there's some 400 tight shots and then 190 millimeter. Like even that. Just from 400 to basically 200. Mm-hmm. What a difference in just like the look, the feel, what you can see, how you can compose it. Such a different thing. I don't know if we had any video from that particular outing. Let's see, that was all Hilton Head stuff. There's more drone stuff. Different day.
And that's the day.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here we go. So this can maybe give you an idea of kind of what it looked like. And this was a little bit later, after that blue color kind of disappeared.
Yeah. The blue was gone already.
Yeah. So I thought we had some videos from that. This was just paddling that other place.
Yeah. I think we already showed that.
We did, yeah. So let me get rid of these. I guess this is another drone shot showing off. Oh no, this was just zooming in.
Yeah.
From standing up on the shoreline to show that flock.
Oh my gosh, look how many.
Isn't that nuts, guys?
There's so many birds.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
That flock. And you guys can see just how it's constantly swirling and moving and in motion.
Yeah. Always moving around.
Yeah. It's so cool to see this again.
Yeah, like so many birds. It's crazy.
Yeah, and look at how like wide the flock stretches. And then we can't even see the birds that are off to the left and right of that one, This was a sunnier day, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was later on. So, but we'll show it now, since we're like showing this flock stuff. This was the second time. I think it was like towards the last day when we were there. We got some more drone action on a sunnier day, and they were just out there doing the same thing. Just the flock was going crazy out there. You can see like all these cormorants flying in there.
Yeah.
So that was kind of fun. And then here I'll just give you guys a sense of what it looks like just cruising right over the top of them there. And I was going to say, for anybody interested with the drone stuff and curious about it, there was one time where I noticed as I was getting to a lower perspective, I noticed that they started kind of flinching a little bit, and like one or two, or more than one or two, like a handful of cormorants started kind of taking off. So I immediately stopped and just let it sit there and then let them settle down, and then I just kind of move it back up, and then everything was fine. So the biggest problem we ever had, or like flushing the birds ever,
was in the kayak.
Was when we were in the boat, actually, So the drone, which I know a lot of people are always concerned about, like the ethics of flying a drone and the disturbance of it and all that stuff. In my experience with this kind of encounter, the drone was the least of the disturbing things, and obviously we didn't go out in the boat
to try and disturb them.
We wanted to go out and get photos. Yeah. And they seemed so cool with the drone, and there were so many of them. Yeah. It's like, a lot of times there's like a sort of safety in numbers kind of thing with flocks. And for whatever reason, they just did not like that boat. So they were gone. So back to this photography that evening. One of the other things is we noticed like there was like some bright areas in the clouds here. And so we were specifically trying to line them up in there. And I don't know if we eventually went over to that one.
Maybe.
I think we may have, but we'll kind of keep going through.
Yeah, I think we did, yeah.
Yep.
Because that was like the brightest spot.
That's what happened. Like this brighter area kind of shut down.
Yeah.
As the sun's moving, the clouds are moving.
Everything's changing.
Totally. And so we like find an area, we're lining it up, and we're getting it, everything's working good, and all of a sudden it kind of changes and morphs and the light dies down, then we both would realize like, hey, he's not standing out much here.
Right.
And the light coming out from under here was in a
That
different
was
spot.
changing, and
So
yeah.
we just kept moving around trying to make it happen, and the goal being keep this bird in a bright area.
Right,
But I
to make him
think-
stand out.
I would be surprised if we put it right in there.
Yeah.
Because it feels like, I guess we did. I was gonna say it feels like it could get a little too much being right in that spot, but
Yeah, those clouds are just crazy.
the drama on that was insane. It really was. And we also got lucky. You guys can see the water right here.
Yeah, the water was calm.
That was key.
Yeah.
Because there was another day.
No, later that day.
It was in that one?
It
winded up?
Winded up, and so then it was like kind of shut it down.
Oh, that's right, because we still could have stayed in shot,
Yeah.
but the surface of the water, you can start to see it a little bit there.
Yeah.
Start getting windy and textured, and then we're out. So
Look at that sky.
yeah, I
oh,
went
it was
out to
so
62
crazy.
millimeter here on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty small in frame, even smaller there. But I mean, you can see him if you zoom in,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I mean, it's more about the sky, I think,
It's
at that
just showing
point.
off that whole scene. no
Yeah.
doubt. Yeah. Oh, that low perspective is
Yeah.
so good. What a difference that makes. Like, it looks fine up here,
Yeah.
but
Also, maybe the 1.8. You think that has anything to do with it, or the aperture?
maybe, but I think it's still more the perspective.
Yeah.
I feel like, and it's not just the smoothness of it, it's that feeling of like you're in the water.
In the water. Yeah.
That's
Oh, I
what it
love
does to
these-
me.
These little
Those little tendrils
rain
there.
things are
Uh-huh.
it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, it was so good. This one really lays out nice. I loved when this happened when we would, and I noticed it,
Yeah.
when we would drift in and have the second tree out there. To me, it gave like a little bit of a sense of depth
Sure.
to it. And
Well, sometimes the
scale.
tree was over here, and sometimes we had it over here.
Exactly.
And then I actually like how the tree is kind of like at the
Yeah.
bottom of the cloud line there, and then he's kind of right before this dark cloud.
This one's one of my favorite. Lays out so many ways. This tree fits right in
Yeah.
the orange,
Yeah.
you know? And I like the tree on this side better just because of like, I don't know,
Where
this
he's-
angle and where he's looking. I feel
Yeah.
like there's more angles there. All of these light rays are pointing out this way.
Yeah.
Like this, there's so much about this one that balances so well to me. This is definitely one of my favorites of what either of a shot, you know? Yeah, it lays out so well. There's like two of them there.
Two of them?
That one looks punched
Maybe
up
a little bit
more.
more punchy.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, there's one I shot. So there's perfect example, right? Of like, it's not much different, but that low perspective, like not having it there, it definitely, you do smooth it out some, but it just feels like I'm sitting up in a boat again.
Right.
Instead of, you know, eye in the water kind
Yeah.
of thing there. So that low perspective really does something to it, you know?
Yeah, like a dreaminess. Yeah, so there's the tree on the other side.
Yeah, right?
And it kind
so-
of just gets a little bit more, I don't know. It's
It's just jumbled up more over there.
yeah, more jumbled up.
And I feel like there is something to be said for the bird looking out
Yeah.
this way.
And just like all those
yeah,
elements.
and then your eye drops down in there. I
Yeah.
don't know. There's just something that feels better about it. I still like having the tree back there on this one, you know, versus not having it at all.
At all, yeah.
Although
I definitely did some without.
I did some too where it
Yeah.
was hidden right behind that
Yeah.
tree, the main tree. I kind of waited for it to do that. So there's yours at 135. There's me at 200 millimeter.
Yeah.
There's one where the tree was just kind of blending in there. And then
Right.
just about gone.
Right.
You know, kind of hidden. I did a composition here with more water, trying for that perspective as well.
Yeah.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
I like that. Oh, that dreamy water.
Yeah.
It's so nice. I'm just gonna take the settings off just so we can kind of see it a little bit cleaner there. But
There, I
damn.
think so. I think it's pretty center composed,
Yeah.
but I feel like it works for that one.
The tree being on this side, you mean?
Just
Or
the
just in the
image
center?
in general,
Oh,
like
yeah, for sure.
the way that the clouds are, and I don't know.
Yeah, but it's not. Yeah, actually, I guess you're right.
It's like
interesting.
pretty smack center.
That bird is so close. Let's see how. He's just over center on the top, like the horizontal there.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So, why do you think it works so well? Like a lot
I
of
think-
times, center doesn't work.
I think just like this cloud coming in here,
Mm-hmm.
he's kind of like right in the cloud. Maybe just like the formations of the clouds two are kind of more, I don't know why.
I think it's because your horizon isn't there. Your horizon's getting close to that third on the bottom, and this is almost the main dominant subject, and that kind of the biggest area of him is low,
like lower
as well.
Yeah.
That's what all sort of balances the thing towards the bottom. Like, because at first I was going to say you gave him a lot of space up top, but he is smack in the center.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. Yeah.
But if it wasn't for that tree, I think it would feel
then it would be
off.
weird if he wasn't in a tree.
No, I just mean if it wasn't for, like, let's say he was flying through.
Space, then
right?
that would be weird to have him smack in the center.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yes, without the tree.
The tree is like this balancing kind of like element.
That's exactly what I mean.
Yeah. Do you think it works?
Oh, for sure it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. No, I think there's something too with vertical images that I feel like you get away with the left-right centering of things a lot more. And a lot of the times I'll find myself, placing the subject or whatever is really low in the frame or high in the frame, but I'll do a lot more horizontal centering with vertical images than I will with horizontal images, And I don't know why.
Yeah.
Usually probably because there's some big dominant vertical element in it that's causing me to go vertical.
Or like the sky or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, which could,
Yeah.
Right.
I like that. Man, those colors, it still was hanging in there.
It was, and then of course it muted as we were wondering. I was like, are all of these clouds gonna light up and be pink?
Yeah.
Or is it gonna get shut down?
Oh, there's a really wide one. What did I get? There's 28 millimeter.
Yeah, he's right in the bright spot. But yeah, then it turned out to just to kind of shut down.
This is the kind of shot I would love seeing this like massive on a wall, just huge, or like in the Vision Pro, like really big, because I feel like if this scaled up is so good, you could still see the bird pretty good. You'd be like, oh, look at the bird sitting right on the top. But
right
even
now
on
it's
this
just
screen,
like
you have to zoom into that level to even see them, and now you lose the rest of the scene.
Right. It kind of loses its.
But this whole scene is incredible. There's so much drama there. There's so much sense of space. All of that, So I did play around with a bunch of different focal lengths there. We'll bring this back up.
Oh yeah, just to see.
Yeah, because it's nice to see.
105, 130.
Yeah, Yeah, there's the straight out of camera final edit.
Yeah.
So again, not much change. Didn't have to do much. Just a little bit of dodging and burning.
The sky was insane.
Yeah, it was nuts.
And I think that's also something. A lot. Well, how could you not, right? I think that's also something to say of like.
That's pretty. Go ahead.
Thank you. That's mine.
I know.
You had that oof reaction from mine.
Yeah.
That's nice.
What were you saying?
To really show off the environment, like these crazy conditions really add to it.
Yes.
Could
you imagine shooting close-up portraits in this scene?
Yeah.
It could never even cross our mind.
With these skies, I think we did get, lucky with these epically dramatic skies.
Yeah, but we're also there long enough.
Yeah.
10 days. So that's, morning and evening. That's 20 opportunities.
Yeah, that is a lot if you think about it.
Yeah, for some really cool skies.
Yeah.
And every one of those, we had the opportunity to just be like, yep, that's perfect, let's go.
Yeah.
So that is a lot of opportunity.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, when you think about it that way.
But it is fascinating. You're right. Bringing that up it never crosses my mind, let's try and get closer.
Yeah. And with a scene like this.
And shoot a big bird in the frame at all. It's just never, the only reason is let's get closer and go 28 millimeter, that's the only thing that I think we think of, oh gosh. Oh, so that's you. Mm-hmm. That's me, so just going with a different color balance there, there's every time I can tell, that lower perspective, it just shows.
So why do you think you weren't as low? Because you were in the back?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was paddling in the back. More the paddling thing.
But we weren't paddling all the time.
It was like the lineup. Like I would have had to position the boat a certain angle every time to be able to lean over and get that. Plus, I think you were leaned over a lot. And so both of us leaning over could be not good.
Right.
We'd have to lean opposite.
Right.
And if we're leaning opposite, then one person's getting screwed on the boat direction. So yeah, it's kind of like one person gets to do the low angle thing.
And
I'm used to that from the
more though.
I didn't really think it made that big of a difference.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it does, and not like I'm not happy with all of this anyway.
Right.
I was thrilled with what I was shooting. So, totally
there's
fine.
another one where he's the other trees on the right, and
it's
just
my gosh,
he's right in there, that bright spot.
And that's the thing. What did we talk about? We talked about it on the podcast.
Yeah.
The audio only podcast.
Yes.
We were talking about this. this was the scenario where, to me, it's
Like
so
being very
fun
intentional. Yeah.
being that intentional. Like you're looking at, where's that super wide one? You know? Yeah. Where'd that 28 millimeter one go?
This one here.
Yeah. So you're looking at this scene and this sky, and we got this bird out here, and it is just, you know, for anybody watching right now that might not know, this is not a coincidence that it's in this shot, he's right here, and in this shot, he's right there in that spot. Like that is something that we look at this entire scene and the clouds and what we want to show in the background. So most of the time we're like, let's show the orange below because it's a nice color contrast.
Right.
Because in theory, we could have paddled around to the right and put him up in this blue sky over there, right? But
yeah, but there were those
interesting,
rays happening and these other elements. Yeah.
Correct, right? While that is interesting, there's not as much visual interest as what we saw happening back here. So the decision is, yes, we're going to make sure we shoot this direction into this sky you're seeing here. And so we look at all of this and start trying to decide, all right, from where we are with the general focal lengths we're shooting, how far forward, how far back do we have to be able to start lining up with this kind of stuff. And then these shots are what happen when we just slowly drift him right into that exact spot in that cloud. And when it lines up like that, it makes a big difference, you know?
Yeah.
It really does. And it's not that these shots can't work with him up in here or up in here. Like, it would still be okay, but that intention and attention to the detail and the layout and the positioning of everything and our perspective from it all, both being high, low, forward, backward, like all that three-dimensional space that's coming into play there, is the puzzle of small and frame photography that I absolutely love. Yeah. And
because it can make or break a photo, or like make it that much better.
Correct. And that's what I think. And
make it work so much better.
And I think a lot of viewers maybe see a photo and don't even maybe know or think and look at, you know, like, hey, this scene really works, you know, the bird is like standing out nicely and everything. Yeah. And I really like how it's small in frame, and they might not even consciously realize like oh, there's a break in the cloud there. Or this one earlier, where was it? It's going to be hard to find, but that one of yours that we were kind of breaking down with the double tree, this one. Oh, yeah. Why are all these elements working together so well, you know? Right. And it's like, until you start consciously breaking down, okay, this tree fits here, this line goes right to these branches here, and this line kind of goes
right before the bird,
Now, I don't know about you, but out in the field, I wasn't so much worried about the scale of this tree fitting in there or this line hitting there. Yeah. I wasn't really paying attention to that. It was much more about
like where the bird was placed.
Let's put that bird in the right place. Yeah. Like, did you notice that kind of stuff happening in the field?
That's interesting. I don't know if I did or if I didn't, but like, it worked.
For sure, it does. No, and this is why I think we can break it down after the fact and look at it and say, this is why this one visually works so well.
So well. Yeah, the elements are
probably over other images compared to where we drifted forward. Because, you know, we drift forward a little bit.
And then
he goes up into there, which doesn't work. But even if, let's say, there was light area up there and he could fit, this starts shifting up. So that line drops, you know. This tree gets bigger, so then maybe it sticks up into there more. And like all of that wouldn't ruin this photo.
No, but
But it makes it that much better when it does work out. Right. So the more of all these pieces that we can pay attention to in the field, I think just makes it so much more A, interesting, and then B, like it pays off, you know, in the end. So yeah, and I just love that.
And then, but you can see here, the water was starting to get ripply.
I was just going to point that out, and say this was like the last of our stuff. And in fact, I guess he eventually took off. And I don't know if it was us or if it was just time for him to go. Cause
it was.
He was out there a long time. And I don't think we were pushing in any closer at that point, you know. That one's 70 millimeter.
And that was, I think, on the way back.
Oh, was it? Same day?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So, hell of a day we had. All right, so cut to the next day. We're back out in, this is that other section.
Side. Yeah, that's when we were in the muck.
The mess with this. And I thought I had a video showing us paddling through there, but maybe. Oh, this was more of that. That previous evening. So. Oh, this is just the birds
that's
all
the
flying.
bunch of the birds out there before. Okay. Yeah.
Yep. So there you can see the flock of just everything just nonstop moving.
Yeah. And I think we probably scared them right there. Yeah.
Sorry, birds.
Yeah.
This is a great example of how beautiful that looked out there.
Yeah.
You can see how calm it was. Yeah. What a sky.
Stunning. Stunning.
Yep. Man, it makes you want to be back there, doesn't it?
Yeah, but we've been also enjoying here, haven't we?
Oh, for sure. All right, so I guess I didn't have one of those videos, but that's okay. Had some light. So the first time we were on the other side, it was pretty much overcast the whole time. A little bit of soft light.
Then we went out for a sunset, this was, right?
This was a sunset.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think we ever went over there in the morning.
Right.
And
I don't think I kept any
it was
photos
super challenging.
from that.
Yeah,
one.
So here's the handful that I kept. You didn't have anything from this?
I just
Didn't like them?
I didn't connect with them.
No.
Yeah.
What do you think of these? Still not connecting with them? That's fine. You're allowed to not connect with them. Like, I decided to keep some. I connected with something. For real, though, I'm curious. Nothing to it? Like, it's not doing it for you there?
I don't know.
I like
he definitely
the sense of
stands
drama.
out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
And-
that's obvious, but... She's doing one of those, like, polite critiques. Like, instead of just, like, this sucks. Like,
I don't think
bird
it
stands
sucks.
out.
I don't
It's
think
well exposed. It's sharp.
I like this one.
You like this one a little bit better?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
That one I like too, the
Okay.
position a little bit. That
This
one's
one's
nice.
maybe my favorite. Yeah,
That
I really
one's
like the
nice.
moodiness of this one.
With and there's more of that glow from
Yeah, exactly.
the sun
Yeah,
setting colors.
yeah.
I'm getting antsy here. We've
I
been
know. I
talking
told
for an
everybody this is
hour.
going to be a long. It's an hour already when we're going? Yeah, gosh. All right, so we'll move it along here. Last full day there.
Yeah.
Rainbow comes out. We went and showered.
It was great. Wasn't it crazy stormy that morning?
Yeah, rained all morning.
Yeah, and then we went to go shower and we came back and I didn't even see that. It must not have happened yet.
Yeah.
And Ray comes back and he's like, camera,
Yeah.
rainbow. And I was like, okay. And I didn't even see it.
Yeah, and so here's just some video of these guys.
It was this super vibrant rainbow.
There we go.
Yeah.
That should show. Yeah, really vibrant rainbow going right down. The flock was out there going crazy again.
It was just like...
I wish in hindsight, although I don't know if it was too windy, I didn't think for whatever reason to throw the drone up at that moment. But like to see the flock with the rainbow.
I think it was just
crazy.
like haphazard
It
with
was
like,
so-
oh my God, there's a rainbow. Let's photograph it, you know?
Crazy dramatic sky.
But it was
again.
tough. It was tough to get photos. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, there wasn't anything that worked out really good there. I don't know. This is maybe just, yeah, so, okay.
Oh, there's a video to show it.
Yeah.
There's the rainbow.
Just showing that. And you could see it going down to the water over there.
Yeah.
Where the birds were. And then, yeah, what happened?
Yeah, we have a couple of photos.
Oh, okay. So I don't know why that one's there. Just out of order. But, yeah,
well, that was
that's right.
probably that morning. The lightning was that morning. You went to go and shoot.
Okay. So this was just out of sequence then.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
It was crazy stormy, raining.
we woke up, weren't planning on shooting at all.
Yeah.
I wake up early enough, and then I'm starting to notice like it's just barely, you can just barely see any light outside, and it's foggy. And it's the first time we'd seen fog that morning or on the entire trip.
Yeah.
But it was like a lot of lightning and stuff. So I'm like, hey, I'm not going out in the boat. No way I'm taking a big old metal paddle out in the boat. And I didn't know if there was going to be any birds I could shoot from land, but I thought like I got to try this. And then it started raining heavy. So I'm like, first thing in the morning, it's all cold and we're all comfy in the bed. I'm like, man, do I do this? Do I get up, put all the rain gear on myself, on the gear, and get out there? But all I could think was lighting up the fog. I knew I wouldn't see the lightning because it was too foggy. You couldn't even see the lightning bolts. And I wasn't really thinking about that anyway. But I was thinking I could see with my eye every time it would shine, I could see the silhouette of the trees. And I'm like, damn, that might be pretty freaking badass if I could do that. How am I going to do that? Pre-capture.
Right.
So I was going to set the camera to pre-capture. I'd sit there and hold it, wait for the lightning to flash. I'd be pre-focused on the bird, and then I would just fire it and then get that. So I set it to 30 frames a second, and I figured I'd be able to get something in there where it was lighting up that fog, you know? And so I went out. There was unfortunately no birds, and I have this image just as sort of the proof of what it looked like when I did get that shot. And I don't even think it was in focus either. This one wasn't, because it was so dark it was hard to focus. But this is the exact area where a lot of times there were gray egrets hanging out. So I was hoping I might find one, but I didn't. And anyway, it would have been kind of an interesting, moody look for sure. But, you know, it failed. So anyway,
so back to this rainbow.
Back to the rainbow. We did both. You shot some of this as well? Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
so some of these are
mine.
Yours as well. That one's yours. Nice. Yeah.
Look at that.
It's pretty intense.
Yeah.
So, yeah, shot some of these guys flying across there. Not the best perspectives or angles, but
yeah, it was difficult. That's what I was getting out of, like, I don't know, just
fun to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that's the sunny day. So I did throw the drone up after the rainbow disappeared.
Okay, that's what it
all this
was.
stuff with the sun.
And then that was that evening. So it must have continued to rain. That was the day. It was crazy rainy.
Storms in and out
all day.
There was apparently there was tornado warnings.
Tornadoes around in the area.
Yep.
Both of our moms texted us if we were okay. But look at this sky.
And did we?
We didn't go out.
No, we didn't bother. It was crazy windy, and we didn't see any birds.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, so we didn't.
So it was like the most insane sky ever, and there was no birds. But
that's right. So
we had that other, like, look at that. Ooh, those cloud formations.
This video kind of showing off the whole space there. Oops.
Just crazy. And that tends to happen with, you know,
storms.
Huge storms. Then you get these epic skies.
But it's like, is it ever going to, the odds that it's going to clear out in time?
Yeah, like right
at
sunset. No, but I mean, it happens.
Yeah, it does. I'm just saying, it's like those aren't.
You're not like prepared for it necessarily.
Not at all. We weren't.
But look at those colors in the sky. It's just crazy.
So we were just saying, after looking at this, like, this was the craziest sky
that we've ever seen
in a long time.
But I mean, that other sky too was like right on par with it. The one.
Gosh, imagine if we had a freaking bird on the top of one of these trees. Like, it would have been unbelievable. So yeah, I shot some of these.
Just
I went and grabbed
from
the
land.
10mm and shot some just to show off the craziness of this sky. So we'll just sift through them.
And then we're in Hilton Head.
And then we went to Hilton Head. Yeah. So. Yeah, let's talk about that. I'll just let these videos roll while we're doing that.
Okay.
So just 2 days we drove across from Louisiana back to here.
Stayed at a Cracker Barrel
overnight, and then got to Hilton Head and went out and did this. This was that night.
So we came back and it was probably like 2-3 in the afternoon. Yeah. And then we were like, okay, we have an hour and a half until we would want to go out for sunset.
Yeah.
But on the way back, I was like, oh, we should go to the beach tonight. Because like sometimes after driving, I mean, we had driven like, I don't know, 10 hours or so, 12 hours from
the previous
spot. It was like, you just want to, like, you know, you're going to feel good going out to the beach for a sunset, even if it's just for a walk.
Yeah.
Like, just being out there feels so good. And so yeah, we decided to go. Ray said he wouldn't have decided to do that.
It would not have been my choice. Oh, here's one last video showing off. I do want to show this one because it just really showed off that sky that night before we left. Yeah, look at that.
There's Ray taking photos.
That's with that 10mm.
Yeah. So yeah, and so we went out, and first we kind of separated from the beginning. You were shooting this.
Yeah, I found this little black-bellied plover over there.
Look how cute he is.
Yeah, so he ended up getting, I'll show you guys this one.
Huge worm.
I missed the recording, starting it, right in between when he pulled it. He did the pull where the long stretch was there, and I was just fumbling with settings, changing something.
But watch this little guy come along.
Is this not the clip?
No, I think it is. Maybe he just takes a second to get there.
No, this must not be the right clip. Oh, no, you're right.
No, here he is. He's coming. Look, he gets half of it, and then he runs with it.
Yeah, it's already halfway down that black belly's throat, though.
It's crazy.
You know?
That's a long worm. Makes you kind of think like, ooh.
Oh, the stuff that we're, yeah. So we were in the dry suit, though, so that was
We
good.
were, yeah, which we've had dry suits for a while now, and just realized to start going out with them.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I took the plane again that night, just thinking.
The 135 millimeter.
Yes,
yeah.
the
For anybody that
135.
doesn't know, and then
I was just reading it
I
there.
know, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, this is an interesting
All right.
one.
Debate?
Yes.
You set both?
So I put both.
Okay.
You see, the one on the right has more of a
Purple.
purple tone to it. The one on the left is more not that way.
Yep.
And so, which do you like better?
Yeah, let us know.
Ray likes the one on the left better, more true to the maybe scene, more
Yeah,
true
and-
to the reality or something.
And it's also more true to the bird. Like the bird color
He's
gets
more
thrown
purple.
a little more purple there to me.
You're right,
Like these guys
you're right.
are like that's their color.
It
You
could have just
nailed
been
it right there, you know.
the edit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went with a little bit of La Vie en Rose
Yeah.
pink tones there. And I sent it to my family group text, and one person chose the one on the left, and everybody else chose the other one. So it's just kind
Who's
of
the one person
interesting.
on the left? Me? Or,
No, Zach. You weren't.
okay.
You didn't even
Gotcha.
vote. I already knew your vote, though.
Yeah, yeah,
so I
yeah.
guess it's 2 to like 5.
Yeah. Okay.
So it'll be interesting.
Nice.
Anyway, yeah, got a couple of Sanderling.
You did get some good shots. I didn't get a damn thing out that night. I got
You
that-
didn't?
No, I don't think I kept anything. Oh, this.
Oh,
this
you
nut
saw
job
a clapper rail. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen one just run out in the open on the beach like that. So
Yeah.
I did get him. I got some shots of you.
Yeah.
But I don't think I kept. Oh,
There,
there's one I kept.
There's one.
All
I
right.
mean, the sky
Yeah.
is so beautiful.
Yeah, Willet there. They are shooting a little tight on him. This one ended up looking a little dark. Don't you
Okay.
think?
Yeah, could
Like,
brighten it.
Yeah. Yeah, these colors are beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really stunning.
Yeah.
All right, so I kept a couple images, but
Yeah.
yeah, not much. Look, this flock was like right
Oh
there.
my gosh, there were thousands
Black-belly,
of little semi-palm plovers.
Semi-palm sandpipers.
Yeah.
Sanderlings.
And it was just like, oh, what a joy to be out there.
Yeah. So
Seriously,
Yeah.
so you could see us happy.
Emily likes it. Yep, she likes being
Happy.
out there.
Oh,
I kept this
man.
guy with a little bit of movement as well.
Yeah.
Then
And
we
then we
had to
came
walk
back in the ocean. This one was more for dramatic effect.
Yeah, it was only that deep, but I told her,
Yeah.
I was like, just crouch down. It looked like you're really deep in the ocean.
Yeah.
So that was
You
it.
could see my natural high from being out on the beach.
Yeah,
I
no
look
doubt.
insane.
No doubt. Yeah, no, it was a wonderful time. But,
Yeah.
yeah, it's nice to be back here again. We went out this morning, and we'll tell you all about that on the next one.
Wait,
'cause we don't have
yeah,
any of the photos
and last
ready.
night too.
And last night.
Last
so
night and this morning.
we have
So
a
we've
few
been
more.
hitting it hard,
Yeah, yeah.
but
It's been-
enjoying ourselves too.
It's been a blast.
Yes.
These places have been amazing, and we're going to be here for a while, so we're going to try and make the best out of that. We do have some ideas and some things we're going to try, some different little projects and places we'll be visiting around this
Mm-hmm.
area here, but we don't have any long distance travel stuff happening until end of this month of January
Yeah.
when we do a cruise thing
February.
with your family. So.
Yeah.
So that's it. So that takes us. That was a busy week, though. A lot of stuff this week. So
Yeah.
if you guys stuck with us, thank you so much for that. I hope you guys have been enjoying this. And we did something this time that I've been wanting to try and do a little bit more. We kind of, I think maybe in the last video or two, didn't do this enough. But I want to kind of try and break down some of these photos a little bit more and talk
Yeah.
about the aspect of
Artistically,
shooting it and
compositionally.
what we're liking, how we're editing, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Just with a handful of photos throughout the episode. So if you enjoyed that, stick around because that is what we plan on doing coming up in the future as well. All right. So we'll see you next week. Thanks so much, everybody.
Thanks for watching.